David Sanders. He has, of course, a ways to go with his recruitment, but currently has some trips set up to Florida. He's going to South Carolina, also plans to get out to Georgia, Ohio State, and Alabama. Some pretty decent programs there. As far as what kind of player he is, though, Cooper, what prompted you and the rest of the team to give him that 5th star?
Well, we felt really comfortable, and as Blair kind of alluded to, he's got elite traits, and seeing him at the Under Armour Combine in Atlanta this past weekend, this was a guy, he showed up, he was 6'5", 3/4, 249 pounds, but he had a 6'9" wingspan, and then he showed up and he played really well in the one-on-one portions of the events against Alabama commit Sterling Dixon, who was a year older than him. So you take that into consideration. There's a lot to like there. But yes, we know the frame is an area where he's going to have to improve and add weight over the next 2 years before he gets to college. But this is a guy in terms of the feet, the body quickness, and the twitch. You can't teach what he has. So he's got elite physical traits. And look, going wire to wire is the number one. That's a very difficult thing to do, as Blair alluded to earlier. But if you had to bet on a guy, this would be the kid. He kind of reminds me of Josh Connerly, who signed with Oregon in 2022. I don't think this guy's floor is any lower than dropping outside of the top 10. He's a pretty clean prospect.
Yeah, an impressive specimen on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, Coop, David Stone is a 5-star prospect in the 2024 class. A&M gets their shot to make an impression this weekend, but you've got the likes of Arkansas, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Oklahoma. They're all vying for his signature. What makes him such a coveted prospect?
Well, Texas A&M, they got all the infinity stones, right, with all those defensive linemen. But he kind of reminds me of DJ Hicks, the former 5-star who signed with Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M this past cycle. But here's a guy, he can play 3-tech, 1 technique, 6'3", 270 pounds, another guy with a 6'9" wingspan, explosive. He played on a defense at IMG Academy that was littered with talent at every level of that defense, and he was a guy who just kept showing up on tape. One of the better defenders there, one of the best defenders in the country, a top 5 rated player for us. The quick twitch explosiveness, he can beat you with speed, quickness, and power. That's really hard to find for guys that can not only play the run, but can give you a little bit of pass rushing upside on the interior defensive line as well. So I think he's really unique in those areas.
How about 2024 4-star athlete KingJoseph Edwards? He's set to visit Miami this weekend. That's per our Gaby Urutia of Inside the U. What stands out to you when you put on his film?
Well, he can do a little bit of everything. You know, he's a 3-4 outside linebacker, stand-up guy. Kind of reminded me of B.J. Ojolari a little bit. It's got some Marvin Jones from the University of Georgia as well, but he is so smooth in his pass rushing set. I love this guy off the edge, and you talk about his ability to go speed to power. I still think he needs to improve there from a play strength standpoint, but the athleticism really stands out. And listen, if you're going to build the foundation of a player, you got to start with the feet up. I love everything that KingJoseph Edwards brings to the table. He's really going to benefit from being at a SEC or Power 5 strength conditioning program. There's a lot to like about him. I think this dude, as well as a lot of the other guys I was talking about earlier, I mean, these are guys to bet on. I know we're early on them, but there's a lot to like with these guys.